just so pretty, I don't want to open it yet. Welcome to the mounting ecosystem of 67 Designs. Those of us who are in the overlanding and off-roading community, we know who they are. They specialize in mounting solutions for all of your devices. And when I say specialize, I mean domination. Like, these guys are good at what they do because they build really good quality products, American made, all aluminum. I have tried a ton of different phone mounts way before I even had the Jeep, and none of them had ever panned out for me. They were either not holding the device properly, or they were falling apart, or you had to mount them a certain way. I had the kinds that you drop into the cup holder, the kind you attach to vents, and I just hated them. And when I got the Jeep, I heard about 67 Designs, so I tried their G1 phone mount, their very first generation one, and I had never looked back. Well, now I have upgraded to the Vector Off-Road JKE dock, which is a bar that goes along the dash of the Jeep that allows you to just mount a bunch of stuff to it. And 67 Designs specializes in mounts for that JKE dock. So I reached out to them and I said, hey, do you guys want to sponsor a video? And then they sent all of this. I wasn't even expecting all of this, but they sent it. Try it all out, they said. Let us know which ones you like, and here we are. So I'm gonna go through all of these one at a time, show you individually how they all work together and how they're gonna be mounted into the Jeep. All right, starting off with device holders, up first is their G2 universal phone mount. Now, the G1 is the one that I've owned for years, the one that I've loved. In fact, I have one right here. And the only difference between the G2 and the G1 is they redesigned it to just look a little bit cleaner, a lot more contoured. As you can see, this one is curved more than this one is. And then on the side, it used to have these bare aluminum rails, and they've since blacked that out so it's a little bit more conspicuous. Still the same kind of aluminum construction, still the same 20mm ball mount, still the same pad on the back to protect your phone, and still the same kind of grippiness that we've grown accustomed to when it comes to 67 Designs. This thing grips really, really tightly. And what I love about this is that it's one-handed operation. You just take your phone, basically slide in, and you are good to go. And when you're ready to go, you just slide it right back out. See that? I didn't even have to use two hands. Now, stepping that up a notch is their brand new Mag Mount G3. Unlike the G2, this holds your phone by way of magnets. You get a plate that you put in the back of your case, and it just slaps right on. Now, I will be honest, I was a bit skeptical. I said to 67 Designs, I've seen a ton of magnet mounts before, and what I'm afraid of is when I hit the trails, I'm gonna hit a bump and that thing will just flop right off. And they said, don't worry about that, because this magnet mount holds better than any of the magnet mounts you've seen out there. And you know what? I kind of want to believe them. They've done so well with their regular phone mounts that I can only imagine what kind of engineering they put in this. So I'm really, really hoping that when I get a chance to try it out on the trail, that it will hold the way they say it will. Now, for holding devices, brand new to their lineup is their universal tablet holder. What I'm glad they did is they took their G2 design and just made it bigger. One-handed operation like before, same kind of grippiness, same 20mm ball mount, and it just looks a lot cleaner than having this humongous pad holder thing that you have to put your iPad on. Look how nice and clean and simple this is going to be. So I'm really, really excited to be installing this. All right, up next is a mount that I am super excited about as well, and that is the 67 Designs GoPro mount. Before, I used to mount my GoPro to the windshield with one of those suction cups, and I hate those things because I hit a bump, it falls off. Temperature changes, it falls off. Not to mention, you have this monstrosity like in the middle of your windshield that's always in your field of view. And now that I have the Vector off-road bar, I can now mount this to it, and I'll know that the GoPro will be secure, it'll be strong, and it's out of the way a little bit. At the top, you have your GoPro mount that we're all accustomed to, and on the other side, you have your 20mm ball for mounting. Up next, let's talk arms, because obviously you will need something to mount those holders too. And when it comes to arms, 67 Designs does offer a variety of lengths, and it all just depends on what length you need to clear the dash and other obstructions. Their very shortest length is the Nano, and this comes in at about 3.5 inches in overall length. They sent me two of the regular ones, and what I mean by regular is that on both ends, you have two 20mm ball receivers. They sent me two of these, which I will elbow together for the iPad. However, if you have a RAM mount system already installed in your vehicle, you can also get the Nano that has the DAM mount adapter on the other end, which is a 1-inch ball receiver. So if you have a RAM mount, you can still use 67 Design stuff. You just attach this to the RAM ball, which is 1 inch, and then on the other side, you have your 20mm ball receiver. All right, up next is the Mini, and this comes in with an overall length of 4.9 inches, about 5 inches total. And then right in the middle, you're gonna get a carbon fiber inlay, and you can choose between the polished version or the matte version. All right, up next is the Small, and this one comes in with an overall length of 6.1 inches. Also has a carbon fiber inlay in the middle, but I will say that this one is the original one that I've had from the very beginning. I've had this when I first got the Jeep, and it has a polished look. Now this had the old caps on it because again, it was the Gen 1, so I took the old caps off. Then I took the new caps off that Gen 2 that they just sent me and put it on here because I really like this length. It helps clear the dash and brings my phone out closer to me. Now these three sizes are pretty much going to take care of everything in the Jeep. I've already tried it out, especially with the Vector off-road dock. Part of that dock comes out, so the Nano will be great for that. I don't want anything that's way too long. However, if these sizes don't work for you and you need something that is longer, they do offer the medium, which is 7.2 inches in length, and then they have the large, which is 11.2 inches in length. Now, if you really want to fully customize everything, you can buy one of these. It's basically two 20mm balls put next to each other. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to take your arms, put them in between, and now you have yourself an elbow type of situation. So if you need your device to point a certain way or to angle a certain way, just grab one of these and then you'll be able to Lego the heck out of all of these. Now obviously you're gonna need to find a way to mount these to the vehicle, and that's gonna depend on what vehicle you have and what system you have in place. Now I drive a Jeep, and originally I had the 67 design space mount, and it was just a mount that mounted the inside of the cubby on the top of the dash, and at the top it had one ball for this to attach to. It also comes in a 2-ball or 3-ball configuration, so you can have multiple arms and multiple devices. Well, now that I have the Vector off-road dock, I can mount these anywhere along the bar. And how I do that is one of these. This is the bar clamp from 67 Designs. They sent me 3 of these, and now I can put my devices anywhere along the bar of that Vector dock. This comes in 2 configurations. This one is the male, and then this one is the female. So if you have an arm that has a ball on it instead of the receiving end, then you would use this. I'm gonna start installing it now because I cannot wait. Alright, that's it. Everything's been installed, so let's go in there and I'll show you where I put everything. Now starting off with the passenger phone mount. Now this was an arm that I bought with my Vector off-road dock. Was not sent to me by 67 Designs. That's mounted to one of the bar clamps that was sent to me, and on the other end of that is their G2 universal phone mount. Now up at the front is the GoPro mount. Now I have it angled this way because when I had it sticking straight up, it was just too tall that the GoPro was hitting the windshield. So I kind of angled it backwards so that I don't have any kind of obstructions. Now this is mounted to the female bar clamp because the bottom of this GoPro mount is a ball. So we have to use the bar clamp that has the receiving end. Alright, and over here is where I have the universal tablet mount, and I am loving this thing. This thing grips so well, just as good as the G2 universal phone mount. Plus, they made it thick enough and tall enough that you're able to fit a full-sized iPad even with a case. Now this mount is connected to that elbow configuration I was talking about earlier, and that just allows you to put this iPad basically anywhere in this whole area. So if my son wanted to watch a movie in the back seat, I can pull this all the way out here, he can watch, and when he's done, I can just put it right back. That's a lot more flexibility than just having one arm where your iPad can only move so much. And then finally, I have the phone mount for the driver. Over here, I have the Mag Mount G3 setup, and I have loved it so far. I just slap my phone on there. I don't have to worry about clamps. Super easy, and it's very secure. I've hit a couple of bumps, didn't even move, didn't even jiggle. Now we'll just have to wait and see if that thing holds up the same way on the trail. And that's basically the entire setup, and look how nice and convenient and accessible everything is. Everything is within reach. Got my phone over here, and then because of that elbow configuration, I'm able to drop the iPad so that it's not in my way, but it's still high enough for me to be able to see my maps. And then right over here, I have quick access to the GoPro, so I can hit record real easily when I need to. And then my passenger now has access to a phone mount, but it's close enough so that they can charge it with one of my chargers over here. I think this is just the perfect setup, and I cannot wait to start outfitting this with everything and hitting the trails. All right, really quick story. The day that I was on the phone with 67 Designs about sponsoring this video, coincidentally, right at that same time, my friend Chris, who you've seen in my other videos, helped me install the lift. He just so happened to be on the phone with their customer service, and he was calling about one of the arms that he had. There was a problem with it. Then 2 days later, the guy that I was speaking with ends up calling Chris, not knowing that we knew each other, but just to call him to find out what issues he was having with the product. And Chris let him know what was going on, and he said, "Don't worry, we'll take care of you. We'll send you out some new arms." And in that conversation, Chris ends up saying to him, "By the way, thank you for sponsoring my friend Asia's channel." And 67 Designs was like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys knew each other." And then Chris mentions to him, "I'm kind of jealous that I didn't get a patch." And they said, "You know what? We will take care of you. We'll send out a patch to you." I tell you this story because it just goes to show how great their customer service is. Chris ends up getting a call from one of the top guys at 67 Designs because they wanted to make sure he was happy, not knowing that we even knew each other. And there's a lot of companies out there that offer great products, but if their customer service sucks, I really don't want to deal with them. But companies who offer great products backed by great customer service, that's just a win-win. I will always support companies like that. But I'm also telling this story because Chris wanted to make sure that I shout out all the guys at 67 Designs just to say thank you from him for all the great customer service you provided. And I also wanted to say thank you as well for sponsoring this video. You guys were amazing to work with, and I hope we get to do more together in the future. But anyway, review. What can I say? I love it. And just like the Vector dock I installed 2 weeks ago, there's nothing really bad I can say about it. I've always loved 67 Design stuff way before they even decided to sponsor this video. In fact, that's kind of why I wanted to work with them, because I like working with companies that I believe in, that I believe offers a great quality product, as well as backed by great customer service. And everything on here now is just like my dream setup. I've got my phone holder, my passenger has a phone holder, I've got an iPad holder, and now I've got a GoPro mount. Everything is just laid out the way I've always imagined, and I cannot wait to go on the road and hit the trails and basically have all my devices right there at my fingertips. By the way, when 67 Designs was sending me this stuff, they said to me, "We're gonna send you a Mag Mount G3. We know you're kind of skeptical about that kind of mounting, but just let us know what you think." And you know what? I'm a convert. I don't think I'm gonna go back to the grip style of device holders anymore, just because it's so convenient to just plop my phone on there and it stays. Now, I don't know how that's gonna be like when I hit the trails, but I'll find out soon enough. But what I think I'll do is I'll just keep a G2 universal holder in my glove compartment or something. So if it does flop off during my trail runs, then I'll just switch it out to the grip style in those kind of situations, because I know those will hold, because I've done tons of trails with that kind of holder before. You know what I think you guys should do? You guys should start making phone cases like the Mag Mount G3 phone case. That way you don't have to provide us this mounting plate anymore, because it'll be built into the case itself, and we could just plop it right onto the Mag Mount G3 plate. Like that would be awesome. I know there's a company out there called MagBack that makes cases with built-in magnets already and is also MagSafe compatible. I think I'm gonna try that and see if it works just as well with this system. Not that I don't believe in this kind of plate, because I think it's adhered on here really, really strong, and you can't really even peel it off. But just like all things that are adhesive based, eventually this will get weaker and weaker. And I know that where I live in Florida, where it gets really, really humid and hot, this might start to peel off after a while. So if I had a case that already had a built-in magnet in it and I don't have to worry about this coming off, I think that'll just be a little bit more ideal. Other than that, I hope this gave you ideas for your own setup if you don't have one set up yet. I think it's just the perfect solution to have everything right within your reach. If you're going overlanding and off-roading a lot, it's kind of essential to have all that stuff, to have your phone, to have your tablet so you can see the trails, and if you do a lot of media stuff like me, to have a GoPro so that you can record all of that stuff and you can look back on it later. And in bonus, having a phone holder for your passenger, that's just that extra creature comfort that you normally don't get when you're riding with somebody. But anyway, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I truly enjoyed working with 67 Designs, and I hope that we get to do more stuff together in the future. I did drop all the links in in the description below. So if you want to buy any of the stuff that I showed, links are right there. If you did find this video helpful, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and also consider supporting us on Patreon so we can continue to make more content like this. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Baptism Overland. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time. I should just walk around like this and freak people out. Like, wah, wah, wah. Be using this to just like hold my phone. Like, hello? Yeah, word. That's what's up. All right. Yeah, we'll talk later.